The revolutionary Teburu board game console will be delivered to backers mid-October 2023. Don't worry if you didn't manage to secure a Teburu for yourself. A new opportunity will occur on the 25th of July, and this time the campaign looks even better than before. Let me fill you in with the latest details on the Teburu and Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising in this GameFound campaign preview. A new era of board gaming is about to start. This is a campaign you don't want to miss. Let me refresh your memory for a bit. In March 2022, Explored launched a Kickstarter campaign for the Teburu together with a game called The Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiac. I don't want to spend too much attention on the Bad Karmas. In my opinion, the game is mediocre at best. I consider the launch title to be more of a tech demo to showcase the potential of the Teburu instead of a full-fledged game. In our footage you will see several shots of the game, but let's focus on the good stuff. Let's discuss the Teburu first and look at Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising later on in this video. The Taburu system is a centralized, foldable board that can be put beneath a normal game board. The system is able to track movement of miniatures thanks to RFID chips that are in the bases of the miniatures. The Taburu can also connect to special dice and knows the result of any die roll. And last but not least, the system is also able to communicate with special miniature bases with LED lights, which can light up in 4 different directions. In the Bad Karmas, Curse of the Zodiac, this feature is used to show a vulnerable side of an enemy. To make use of all this high-tech goodness, the Teburu needs to be connected to the Teburu app. The app ties all the components together and coordinates the flow of the game. The app will be available for iOS, Android and Windows. Furthermore, each player is able to connect a device of his or her own. The device can serve as a player or character sheet and can display player-specific content. During the Kickstarter campaign back in March 2022, the Teburu, including a 1d6 die, was €100. The pledge did not include any bases or any LED rings. These could be purchased separately, but were also included in other more expensive pledges. Just to give you an impression on the cost for the components, an additional 3 dice was €30, an additional LED ring was €20 and a set of miniature bases was €35. Explored really put an effort in making the Teburu system affordable. We can only hope that the prices did not increase excessively during the last year. At 1d6 we regret that we did not back the last Teburu Kickstarter campaign. The system is definitely something new and it has the potential to create even more immersive experiences during a board game night. Rule reading sessions belong to the past because the Teburu app keeps track of everything. Players can focus on what's in front of them instead of flipping through the rulebook or browsing board game geek forums when they're trying to look for help. Of course, we have some reservations too. Digitizing board games changes the way we experience board games. It can hurt the charming analog adventure of discovering a board game together. And adding multiple screens to a board game can also hurt the level of engagement. Notifications on telephones or tablets will surely cause an unavoidable distraction. And some gameplay mechanics or components might become obsolete. Why do you need to roll a die? Well, you could tap the screen instead. Or why do you need cards? Well, the screen can display the same information, etc, etc. And our biggest concern is the lack of games for the platform. Are publishers actually interested in bringing their games to the Teburu? If you compare the Teburu to a computer game console, it is really the game catalog that attracts potential customers. If you buy a Teburu system and add some dice and perhaps some other accessories, the grand total can ramp up to €200. And you still need to buy a game that is playable on the Teburu system. At this moment there's only one game available and it is mediocre. Hopefully the new GameFound campaign will turn the tide, because Vampire the Masquerade Milan Uprising will be released on the Teburu system. Milan Uprising will be a narrative-driven co-op campaign game. You play as anarch vampires of Milan struggling for autonomy against the oppression of the ruling vampire sect. The game features custom roleplay elements, personal goals and hidden information. We'll review the game in a separate video once the GameFound campaign launches on the 25th of July. At the moment there's not a lot of info to be found on the game. But if we had to make an educated guess, we expect that the game will be similar to Vampire Masquerade's Chapters. This is basically a choose-your-own adventure style game with a lot of decision making and dice-based skill checks. Vampire the Masquerade Chapters scored a 7.1 on the Board Game Geek and is currently on the 14,233rd place in the overall ranking. We'll need to see if Milan Uprising will be a system seller like Gears of War or The Last of Us are on the consoles. The Taburu shows some real potential. We can only hope that Milan Uprising is the system seller Explored is looking for. If Milan Uprising is not your cup of tea, it might be still worth to check out the campaign. Teburu will continue to bring games to the platform, and Swords and Sorcery will probably be the next game that will be released on Teburu. That's it for now. Be sure to check out the campaign on the 25th of July on GameFound, and if you think this video is helpful, please give a thumbs up or even consider subscribing to the channel. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.